May Day bank holiday weekend. The scenery is spectacular. The weather is holding fair and there are rally cars. And a boat. It can only mean one thing. The Cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes.
Well, I certainly know there is no other place in the world I would rather be this weekend than on the beautiful lakes of Killarney. And to top it off, we're here on one of the most anticipated weekends in Irish motorsport. We're here for the Cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes.
This event marks the fourth round now of the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship, which is closely contested as we head to Killarney. Spectators travel from far and wide to watch the event, drawn by the demanding stages which dare drivers to push to the maximum. And of course, not forgetting the incredible landscape that the rally winds its way through. On a good day, there's nowhere better to be. With the championship looking tight at the top at this point in the season, mistakes will be punished hard, as our top contenders are all separated by handfuls of points. Leading the championship is Josh Moffat and John Rowan. Consistent point scoring coupled with dazzling displays of pace put them ahead. Keith Cronin is hoping to recover from a disappointing event at the Circuit of Ireland. After 2 wins so far this season, he trails Josh by 4 points. Alistair Fisher and Gordon Noble were our last event winners, and they are keen to keep momentum going and scoop another. They're currently third in the championship. In WRC machinery this weekend is reigning Irish Tarmac champion Donna Kelly. He and Conor Foley took the win here last year and know exactly what's required to achieve it. Gary Jennings and Rory Kennedy will no doubt be duelling with Donna. Their win in Galway seems like an age ago now. The whole town comes alive during rally weekend. The atmosphere is inescapable as rally fever grips one and all. In the heart of the town, it's time to welcome the competing crews at the ceremonial start, kicking off with our reigning champion. Done him back in Killarney, Rally of the Lakes, classic event. What are we going to see from you this weekend?
Well, we're here to try and win the event. No other reason. We're not in the championship. We're just doing as we choose this year, and that's why we're here.
Donna's intentions are clear, but will it be a tough fight for the win this weekend? Keith Cronin and Mikey Galvin already have 2 wins to their name this season.
It's going to be another tough battle this weekend. We were unlucky in the circuit, we didn't get very far. But this is another long, tough rally. Some classic stages, some really tricky stages. There'll be some good competition there again this weekend.
Keith's right, classic stages, great lineup of competition. He's been battling away with Alistair Fisher, who took the top honours at the Circuit of Ireland. Huge challenge beckons for you. You ready for it?
Certainly is. You know, proper stages this weekend. Really challenging. The road's very abrasive down here, so there's going to be a lot of grip. Even when it's wet, you'll still be on slick. So we're really looking forward to the event.
And here are the crew topping the table in terms of points: Josh Moffat and John Rowan.
Yeah, we're feeling good. Wrecking there for the last 2 days, so the stages are unbelievable. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
This is Kevin O'Donoghue. Underneath the hood of that BMW, you'll find a pretty powerful 3-litre engine. The car makes its debut this weekend. Luckily for the crews, day one dawned with blue skies. When the sun is out, it seems that everyone is in a good mood. Parc Fermé was full of chat and the inevitable fighting talk.
Without championship points to battle for this weekend, it's a free rein for the likes of yourself and Donna Kelly. He's already said he's going to put up a fight. Are you?
Oh, well, Donna always puts up a fight, you know. It'll be hard to know. The R5 cars are getting closer to us all the time, you know. I watched them in the Circuit of Ireland, and definitely the technology have the braking and the corner speed they carry. They're getting a lot closer to us now, so I don't expect them to be far away either. But no, we'll not be giving it Donna all his own way. We'll definitely be here to put up a fight.
A driver who isn't concerned with fighting this weekend is Brazilian Gil Nascimento. New to rallying, Gil is learning with every kilometre. We saw him compete in Galway and the Circuit of Ireland, but is he ready for the challenge of this event?
I think it's going to be a great rally. Never done it before. It's only my 3rd rally, so really looking forward to it.
The opening day here looks like this, and usually Moll's Gap does not kick off the event. It is instead Gortnagarn. A total of 8 stages make up the first day. Perfect conditions greet the crews and the fans. Circuit of Ireland winner Craig Breen, outside of the car for now, getting his spectating fill in the sunshine. He said earlier he was up for a fight, and he meant it. Jennings charged out of the block, setting the fastest time across the opening stages and putting himself in the lead. Not a bad morning's work.
Gray stand fast, 4 right in at Walls, 2:15. Flat left max. Repeat, flat left max, 100. Middle over crest, 115. Right braking 100. Fast, square left unseen. Watch it right. Square left unseen. In.
The lead was 17.1 seconds over Alistair Fisher, who got into a good rhythm straight from the off and was in amongst the WRC cars. He was, however, being hunted down by Donna Kelly, who admitted that he'd been overly cautious on the opening stage. Kelly was within touching distance of Fisher, 0.6 of a second behind after 4 stages.
Watching the pole, 40. Keep out for 4 right, keep in at the gates, okay. Flat 3 left. Flat 2 right, 80. 2 right and the 3 left, you see it. 80 up mid. 2 right over crest. 40 up, keep out for caution, 2 left over crest, sudden 6 right.
Back with the R5s then, and Sam Moffat and Carl Atkinson. A clean run so far saw them 4th overall.
And 4 right, 6 left, into mid-on crest, 130 down, late 2 right. 40, 4 left, A, in.
In the other Moffat camp, things weren't going so well. Josh and John Rowan didn't have the best opening 2 stages, and then it got a lot worse on stage 3 when they rolled their Fiesta. Both crew were okay, but it was game over for our championship leaders. Stephen Wright, who is being co-driven by Finton Sherry this weekend, was 5th overall, but not overly happy with the suspension setup of his Fiesta. He was 40 seconds adrift of 4th. Back with the championship after a difficult event in West Cork is Owen Murphy and Anthony Nestor. They got off to an inauspicious start with a stall on the start line, but were up in 6th overall after 4 stages.
600. Repeat, absolute flat, 5 left, 600. Up into chicane, 3 bells, right entry. If you're braking as late as you can. 300. 200. 100. 150.
For Alan Ring, this event is home and a great chance to stretch the legs of his Fiesta R5.
Well, the home stage is Killarney Rally of the Lakes. It really doesn't get any better than this for you, Alan.
Normally it shouldn't. The weather's lovely, but unfortunately we've had 2 moments. We went through a fence on stage 4, I think. We knocked the local lady wasn't very happy with us knocking down her timber fence, so we had to reverse out of her lawn. That aside, we're having a good event.
Aaron McHale and Enda Sherry were in 8th overall and keen to get a good run with their Skoda, which is new for them this season. Another driver who got off to a difficult start was Keith Cronin, stuck between the arrival control and the start of the stage with a mechanical issue. A devastating blow for Cronin, who would pick up 19 minutes of road penalties.
Panicked for you when we didn't see you on stage 1, Keith.
Yeah, we had trouble before the start of the stage. I don't know if it's fully started yet, and then we had intercom trouble in stage 1. So it's not been a good morning.
As usual, the dynamic R2 category was in full effect. Callum Devine driving the doors off his Opel Adam to lead the class and put him within the international top 10, 9th overall.
Left okay, 300. Shark, 4 left above here at gate. It's Shark, watch it. 400 out then.
Behind Callum by 1.5 minutes after 4 stages were Marty Gallagher and Dean O'Sullivan. William Crichton, who took maximum points in the R2 category from the Circuit of Ireland, lost some time with a spin on the opening stages and is lying third in the category. Fraser Mulholland and Jeff Patterson had a few little niggles, a minor slide off the road and then dealing with a not so aerodynamically sound car. They were fourth in class. Group N Championship leader David Guest didn't get off to the best of starts either. A lack of power to the engine indicating some turbo trouble. Thankfully, this was resolved and he jumped from 5th to class lead by stage 4. Pretty impressive. Paul Barrett and Declan Tumulty were not far behind, 9.2 off the lead in what's shaping up into a great battle. In third were Patrick Kearney and Alistair Wiley. Mindful of the event's tough nature, they were steadily building their pace. Brother Gus Kearney and Tommy Hayes were just 15 seconds behind in third.
To 5 left continues for 100. Push it and trust it here now. And 5 right continues for 100. Trust it again. 100. To 5 left at the shed. And 4 right minus into 5 left 40. 5 left at shed and 4 right minus.
In the National, things did not get off to a good start for local hopeful Fergus O'Mara. Brake failure on the opening stage of the event forced their retirement. Leading the National were Eugene Megan and Sarah Whelan in their BMW. They strengthened their advantage to 18.3 seconds over second place crew, who make their Killarney debut, Jack Newman and Donald Lennon.
So first time to compete on the Killarney Rally of the Lakes. I'm sure it's been an enjoyable experience so far.
Oh, for sure. Sure, the best stages in the country, and with weather like that, you couldn't ask for much more.
Ed Murphy with his nephew John McCarthy alongside lie in third after 4 stages. With John Bonner and Leon Jordan in their Escort Mark II, 4th overall in the National. The 3-litre Volvo engine BMW of Kevin O'Donoghue and David Randalls was attracting some attention. A fuel issue on the opening morning caused a few headaches though. They were back in 60th position. The man who has an incredible amount of experience at this event, this being his 31st participation, Charlie Hickey, was 5th in the National.
Well, the Killarney Rally of the Lakes, it never fails to disappoint, and what a spectacle this year.
It's beautiful this year. You know, the stages are very local. It's really competitor friendly. You get a nice sunny day in Killarney and you couldn't get a better place in the world to rally.
After stage 1, they were 18th. By the end of stage 4, they were 7th. Liam Howlett and Enda Kennedy were propelling themselves up the leaderboard at massive pace. Jason Ryan and Peter Fulvey have a score to settle in Killarney. The last time they were here, they didn't finish. At present, they are 6th in the National. A great start to proceedings here at the Cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes. Here are the results so far. Jennings is in control and the R5s are very much on pace. Join us after the break. Welcome back to the Cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes. As expected, competition is fierce. Gary Jennings leads the International over Alistair Fisher, our leading Irish Tarmac Championship competitor, with Donna Kelly in third. Watching an event safely is made possible by the many volunteers who marshal events. Breed finds out how challenging a task it can be.
The Killarney Rally of the Lakes, one of the biggest events in the motorsport calendar, ran over 2 days, 16 stages, over 230 kilometres. A massive operation as Chief Marshal.
Yes, all the planning starts around Christmas, and it's a lot of gathering of bodies, 200 marshals per day. A lot of clubs from Belfast, 5 counties, Munster, all our neighbouring counties, all the clubs. Without them, we wouldn't be able to run our event. We help them and their event, and they pay us back again with their weekend. So,
the safety aspect surrounding the appointment of marshals is also very important.
Yes, well, we all have courses done in Motorsport Ireland with deputy stage commanders, safety officers. All our stage commanders are highly qualified. We started this morning at 6 o'clock now, meeting all our stage commanders, deploying the sandwiches, the bibs, the flags, so it's an early start.
And we are all appreciative of the work the marshals do. The action this afternoon centres around two 10-kilometre stages run twice, Dromin and Rockfield. Rally leader Gary Jennings continues to set good pace, the fastest man on stage 5 and 6.
Flat 2 right continues and opens, 80, flat right max, 250. Keepers singing, flat right max, 250. Stay right in the turn, fast square left, don't cut.
Alistair Fisher dropped behind Kelly on stage 5, but a strong stage 6 elevated him back into second position. Kelly and Foley were setting good pace across the afternoon and were keen to get ahead of Fisher.
All the way up, come on, push, 950. Chicane right entry, 3 bales, all the way down, well done. 3 bales chicane right entry. 120. Turn open square right, shiny and exit, after fence, snip on road, 350 down.
Sam Moffat and Carl Atkinson were 4th overall and setting competitive times in their Fiesta R5. All was going to plan. Stephen Wright is continuing his good run and holding 5th overall. And continuing to lead in the R2 category is Callum Devine and Keith Moriarty, who have set some stunning times in their Opel Adam.
205 left over crest, okay, 100 slowing, turn square right. You have 100 after this, turn square right. Middle of crest, 60 down. Keep left around bales for a square right, go. 120. 5 right, keep out, continues for 60. Tightens the 4 at yellow wall, 180.
David Guest and Paddy Robinson continue to lead Group N, but the car isn't looking too fresh. They had to deal with a damaged door for 2 stages. David tells us more.
Strange circumstances out there today for you.
Yeah, very strange. We got off to a bad start this morning with a turbo pipe problem, and then a little small incident before the 5th stage with our door coming off. But all's well that ends well, thanks to Jared Lucy for the lend of the door.
Joe and Richard Connolly in their Fiesta R5 were lying 14th overall and keeping the car firmly on the ground this time after launching it into the heavens at the circuit.
Red Bull must have given you wings that weekend at the circuit.
I was presented with a sticker last night, and I'm now known as Bertie Connolly as a result of Hamilton's Folly jump.
Have you found your favourite jump around Killarney yet?
My favourite jump in Killarney is down in Ardgroom, but we're not down there this weekend. There's a nice jump on this one, but we're being very tender about it.
It's now time to turn our attention to the historic championship. Frank Cunningham scooped maximum points at the Circuit of Ireland and is leading the historic category here in Killarney. That lead is 41 seconds over Philip Wiley and John Young. 3rd in historic are David Goose and Richard Wardle. They're on joint championship points with Philip Wiley as we go into this event. It was great to see the Talbot Sunbeam of British rally star Russell Brooks take to the stages in Killarney, ably handled by Tom Clark.
Well, a spectacular car on spectacular stages.
Yes, definitely. We've been offered an opportunity of a lifetime to sit in a very, very famous car, obviously Russell Brooks' car. So it's a bit of baptism of fire. The car is obviously rear-wheel drive, not done anything rear-wheel drive before, getting used to everything now, just trying to roll it through, keep the speed up, and we'll see if we can mix it with some of these boys.
It takes many factors for an event to come together. One of the most important is having a good sponsor on board who understands what rally can deliver for their brand.
Jeff, Cartel.ie is the sponsor yet again for Rally of the Lakes. You're back for a multiple year. Talk to me about how important it is as a company to sponsor an event such as this.
Absolutely, it's very important for us. I mean, it boosts numbers to the site. It's right in where we want to be in terms of cars, because that's what we do. And of course, it gets us a chance to display some of the manufactured cars, and it's some fun down here for the company as well.
In the National, the top three remains the same, with Eugene Megan and Sarah Whelan extending their lead out to 33.5 seconds. Jack Newman and Donald Lennon maintain second. With Ed Murphy and John McCarthy 44 seconds adrift of that second place. Liam Howlett continues to climb the leaderboard, now up into 4th position overall. Mightily impressive considering he started the day 18th. Charlie and Johnny Hickey have now dropped to 5th and find themselves amidst a big battle. John Bonner and Leon Jordan were in 4th, but an off on stage 7 meant they went no further. The final 2 stages of day 1 look set to run under blue skies. Rally leader Jennings certainly hopes it stays dry.
The weather looks like it's going to stay dry, so it's left the tyre choice a lot easier than it was, so we'll see how these last 2 go.
Again, Gary and Rory notch up the fastest time on stage 7, but missed out on stage 8. It had been a good day for our rally leaders. Ali Fisher and Gordon Noble had been on top form on day 1, going into the final 2 stages in 2nd overall.
You know, it's been a good battle this morning. With 2 stages left to go. They're pretty fast, so I think it's going to be pretty close.
They kept momentum and kept Kelly behind. They are our leading Irish Tarmac Championship contenders at the end of the opening day. Kelly and Foley set the fastest time on stage 8 and are keen to get cracking on the classic stages that day 2 has to offer. In the Moffat camp, Sam is in 4th, trying to stay in touch with championship rival Alistair Fisher.
Yeah, really looking forward to it now. We'll have to put a big push on not to let Alistair get away, but we'll see how these 2 go.
He completed the day 13 seconds adrift of Fisher and just 10 behind Kelly. Rounding out the top 5 after a strong opening day are Stephen Wright and Finton Sherry. Here's confirmation of the results after an epic day here at the 4th round of the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship.
So the day proved successful for some, but not for others. For example, we've lost our championship leader, Josh Moffat. So that baton for championship lead will change hands after day 2 of the Cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes.
Join us after the break as we venture into day 2, featuring the legendary Moll's Gap stage. Round 4 of the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship, and Killarney is our destination, and beautiful rolling hillsides and lakes are our scenery. Our leaders as we head into day 2 are Gary Jennings and Rory Kennedy. A strong performance across 8 stages nets them a lead of 26.8 seconds. Alistair Fisher and Gordon Noble set blinding pace to hold second as we embark on the final day. They kept ahead of reigning Irish Tarmac champion Donna Kelly, who's in 3rd. In the National, Eugene Megan reigns supreme and leads over Jack Newman. with Ed Murphy rounding out the top 3. This year's event sees a new clog of the course. Anthony O'Connor steps into the breach and is more than ready to take the reins.
First time as clerk of the course here at Rally of the Lakes. How much of a challenge is this role?
I suppose it has been a major challenge to try and get a new route, make the route more compact, more competitor friendly, introduce a new stage that has never been ran before by the Killarney District Motor Club, and to try and bring the whole thing back into the town of Killarney and cut down the road mileage for the competitor.
But are we going to be seeing some of the classic stages that we know and love here in Killarney?
We are indeed, Bex. We're going to be seeing Malls Gap, Ballachbema, Cara Lake and Gortnagan. I suppose the beauty about coming to Killarney is there's no shortage of classic stages here in Killarney. Killarney being the tourist town that it is and the scenery that Killarney has to offer, it's great to be able to bring all that and rally around Killarney at the same time, and we hope that the people coming to Killarney will enjoy the scenery along with the rallying.
It would be hard not to enjoy the scenery in this beautiful part of the world. As Anthony mentioned, all the classic stages are here, and a lot of them are on our final day of competition. Again, 8 stages make up the route, and the world-renowned Malls Gap kicks us off. The famous route is already lined with spectators, and as you can see, there's been a bit of a change in the weather. Rain, mist and fog have gate-crashed the party and will make it extra tricky for our crews.
Well, it's day 2 of the Cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes. We're seeing contrasting weather conditions this morning. Yesterday we had dry tarmac. Today the roads are going to be so much more slippier as the rain is falling here now. So the first test they got to face this morning is Malls Gap.
Amassing a lead of 26 seconds over the course of day 1, Jennings was set to face a tough run through the gap.
Stay right on the flat left. And flat left 60, past 3 right at Downco, and flat left over crest.
His lead was halved by Kelly, and worse was to follow on the next stage, where he went off. Both Gary and Rory were okay, but huge disappointment after what had been a great event so far. Donna Kelly was now into the lead. After a full attack and putting on the pressure on Malls Gap, the 2015 champion had made his intent known. After the opening 3 stages, he was ahead of Fisher by 13.2 seconds. The leading Irish tarmac contender, Alistair Fisher, was second quickest through Malls Gap, but admitted to a bit of caution after passing the accident of Jennings on Ballachbema. It had been close between Moffat and Fisher, but Sam picked up a puncture on the final test of the loop, approximately 7 kilometres from the end of the stage. He drove to the end, and as you can see here, it was down to the rim.
Well, the evidence is there for all to see. Is this what you call a wheel, Sam?
Yeah, there's not much left of it now. A bit disappointing. Halfway through that last stage there, there was a stone in the middle of the road and could do nothing but hit it. There was no point in stopping, I thought, okay, we'll lose 30 odd seconds, but to change it, we're going to lose a minute and a half. So we drove it to the end now. It was hairy to the finish.
After the trials and tribulations of day 1, Keith Cronin was still suffering on day 2. A lack of power and an electrical glitch. He would, however, set the fastest R5 time on the second run of Malls Gap. Stephen Wright remains in 5th position after 11 stages, with big gaps of time either side of him. Alan Ring, 6th overall, couldn't be more at home on these stages, but he did have a wee moment in the fog.
Flat right 1 over crest, 60, this is flat, right 3, 40, stay out by the rock for double, right 4 plus, left 3, 80. Right to 180.
Owen Murphy and Anthony Nestor were 7th overall, 20 seconds behind Alan Ring. Anthony's commanding tones keeping Owen on the straight and narrow.
4 right long. And flat 4 left, 200. 2 left and 1 right.
In 7th were Aaron McHale and Enda Sherry, who were looking good for their best result in the championship this season. Keeping up the speed and holding the R2 lead were Callum Devine and Keith Moriarty.
6 right and 6 left, continues for 80. Into your 3 left below the 3. Into a flat 4 right. 3 here now and flat 4 right.
Away from the stages, back at Rally HQ, former clerk of the course Mike Marshall reflects on the event's history and his involvement over the years.
Well, I suppose I was stuck on the course for the first 24 years, and over the years I've seen enormous changes in rallying. For example, my first event, the entry fee was £10. The man who won it got £100, which was 10 times the entry fee. Now, if we were to translate that into today's language, we should be giving the man who wins this 10,000, but instead he'll get nothing. But down through the years, we've had some great characters come here. We've had some great competitors, some great battles, some great stories. I always said we wanted 3 things to run a good rally. We wanted good stages, a good team, and the money to do it. Well, thankfully we have the stages. Any amount of money couldn't buy those. We've put a great team together, and luckily enough we've had some very loyal sponsors over the years. Most of them have stayed with us for a long time.
Let's take a look at the National Championship now. Leading for the majority of the event, Eugene Megan and Sarah Whelan held a 30-second advantage after the morning loop of stages. Jack Newman had cut the deficit to the lead to 23 seconds after setting the quickest national time through Moll's Gap, but it did creep back up. Ed Murphy and John McCarthy were 3rd overall in the national after 11 stages. Liam Howlett was holding it together and was in 4th position, posting a batch of very competitive stage times. In a tight battle for 5th were Charlie and John Hickey, just keeping ahead of Jason Ryan by 1 second after stage 11. The junior category was up and running on the final day, with Glenn Fesks, Kieran O'Donoghue and Derek Butler leading after the first 3 stages. Back at the rally's base in Killarney, the Glen Eagle Hotel is Rally HQ and the heart of the event. A successful partnership which has stood the test of time.
30 years of a relationship, something's working.
Yeah, we've been supporting the Killarney District Motor Club on the Rally of the Lakes for well over 30 years at this stage, since its inception really. You know, from our point of view, it's a huge boost at this time of year, at the start of the tour season. Obviously, it's one of the biggest weekends in Killarney throughout the year. We're very happy to support it and believe it's essential for the overall tourism economy of the county and for Killarney specifically.
Here are the results after 11 stages of competition, here at the 4th round of the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship.
Well, the mist that set upon Killarney this morning has not yet lifted, and the stages are quite foggy for competitors, but it hasn't dampened their spirits. Join us for more action from the cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes after the break. This is a different kind of horsepower to what we've been used to all weekend, but it's no stranger to you, Ger.
That's for sure. We're out here now in the famous Gappadon Low, where thousands of people go through here every year by horse and carriage. A lot of people walk and cycle as well, of course, but it's a wonderful place to relax and unwind and say up the kingdom as many times as you can.
Killarney has so much to offer visitors.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, Killarney has every type of thing to offer for tourists, from the rich to the poor. There's a market for everybody there. So we're delighted to really be in such a vicinity.
So I guess there's a reason why you're known as the Singing Jarvey.
That's right. I'm a full-time musician and singer as well as a Jarvey, so that's what we do here for a living. So we'll play a nice piece of music with the nice mountains in the background.
Go for it, Jar.
What a way to ease us back into competition. Stages 12 and 13 are where Donna Kelly would map out an unassailable lead. 36 seconds is what he took into the final stages. Alistair Fisher had switched to championship mode and wasn't prepared to take any undue risk. Maximum points from this event would fuel his title chances. After an earlier puncture, Sam Moffat and Carl Atkinson had lost time to Fisher, and the battle was more or less over. However, Sam was keeping on the pressure. There was a strong entry for the Rally of the Lakes, so let's take a look at some of the local entrants doing their thing. Time now to take a look at our class winners. Kicking off with Class 9. And top honours go to Billy McCarthy and Andy Mahan, who led from the start. In Class 10, Stephen O'Donovan and Daniel Hanratty take the win. Billy Coleman award winner Rob Duggan may be competing in the BRC this weekend, but his brother and sister Andrew and Tara Duggan were busy winning their Class 11R.
5 right 80, left on Creston, short 3 right 100. 5 left opens 80.
Cyril Wharton took third in Class 12, with Dennis Hickey and Sean Nolan taking second after a closely fought battle, with class winners Sean Moynihan and Shane Buckley. In Class 14, the top 5 looked like this. Sean Carroll and Niall O'Sullivan kick us off.
3 right, keep in, and it's deceptive at the second gate. 80. 4 left, keep in and carry speed. 100 and go, good grip. Take it out, lovely.
Fourth in their BMW were Killarney's own Kevin O'Donoghue and David Randalls. Fergal Allen and Mike Cleary completed third in class. Davy Armstrong and Martin McGarity take second and now lead the modified championship. And despite some final day mechanical woes, locals Charlie and Johnny Hickey brought their escort home for a class win and an all-round great result at their 31st Rally of the Lakes. He may be new to rallying and this is only his third event, but Gil Nascimento took the Class 17 honours. After a year out of competition, Kevin O'Sullivan and Martin O'Riordan take the Class 20 win. Now let's turn our attention to the hotly contested junior category. Justin Ryan and Stephen Monaghan finished 10th overall in the category, but strengthened their lead in the championship, finishing ahead of rival Noel Murphy. Taking third overall in the juniors were Eric Calnan and Aileen Kelly in their Peugeot 106. Kenmare's Shane McCarthy and Tricia Greavy were second overall. And taking his second junior win of the season is Kieran O'Donoghue and Derek Butler.
Just over the moon, to be honest. Hasn't kicked in yet.
We'll see. Hopefully we get a bit of funds and a bit of sponsorship, and hopefully we'll do the rest of it, yeah.
In the historic category, Tom Clark and Erla McCarthy are third with their Talbot Sunbeam. David Goose and Richard Wardle take second and are now second in the championship standings. And obviously on a bit of a roll, Frank Cunningham takes the win and maximum points again to give himself a 12-point lead in the championship.
Well, you had almost too much of a comfortable lead that something could have went wrong in those afternoon stages today.
I think this was the most nervous day's rallying I've had for a very long time. I suppose it started for us when we heard that Philip Wiley had gearbox problems on the first stage this morning, and after that it was a case of just drive around all day, which I don't think I've done so many slow stages in my life.
And now let's take a look at the national results. John O'Sullivan and Owen McCarthy take sixth in their Honda Civic.
5 right in over crest jump, and 5 right in over crest 60 up mid, 6 left over crest 60, 6 right over crest 230 down mid, slowing 6 right over crest into 5 left and tight 4 right.
Taking fifth after battling with a misfiring engine on the final day are Charlie and John Hickey. Jason Ryan scoops fourth overall. Walking away with a podium after a leaderboard climb steeper than Everest was Liam Howlett and Enda Kennedy. Jack Newman and Donald Lennon secured second overall. But the outright national win goes to Eugene Megan and Sarah Whelan. A committed drive throughout the weekend, bagging them the top spot.
Very challenging event between the change in the weather, the types of the stages, between myself and Sarah here. We've put in a lot of effort and it's long overdue, so I think the pair of us are absolutely delighted.
The international top 10 looks like this then. Joe and Richard Conley steer their new Fiesta R5 into 10th position. Continuing their winning ways and taking the Group N spoils plus 9th overall were David Guest and Paddy Robinson.
A great weekend in Killarney for you, and you take away the Group N win.
Yeah, we had a good weekend, nice and steady all weekend, but delighted with the pace. With a few troubles at the start, but it all worked out well in the end, so we're delighted with the win again.
In the R2 category, it was heartbreak for Marty Gallagher. He was second in class until this final stage smash. Callum Devine and Keith Moriarty were massively impressive during the weekend, the leading R2 drivers and securing 8th in the International. Aaron McHale and Enda Sherry walk away with their best result in the championship this season in 7th. Sixth overall goes to Owen Murphy and Anthony Nesta after a clean run here in Killarney. Alan Ring and Adrian Deasy take 5th position overall. Some strong times during the weekend as Alan continues to adapt to the R5. Stephen Wright and Finton Sherry walk away with their best result of the season to date. They take 4th. Into the top 3, and Sam Moffat and Carl Atkinson had been battling away and trading times with Alistair Fisher. A final day puncture cooled their heels a little. They're now 2nd in the championship. Fisher and Noble take 2nd overall and maximum points for the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship after showing impressive pace and confidence throughout the weekend. And the outright win this weekend goes to the reigning Irish Tarmac champion Donna Kelly and his co-driver Conor Foley. They certainly didn't have it easy here in Killarney, but a great fight was had.
We had a plan that we would have a big push this morning and see if we could bring a race to Gary, and it mightn't have lasted as long as we thought, but it was a big charge this morning, and absolutely delighted to get the win.
A fantastic result in Killarney. We've seen the championship lead change hands now 3 times. Champs into your name now.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend for us. Proper event, really challenging stages. Great to get top points. It was a good battle with Sam. Unfortunately, Keith had his problems earlier on. Second overall is a good result.
Well, it was great swapping times with Alistair all weekend. You do take second place points to the next round of the championship and just 4 points separate yourselves.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. A bit of misfortune with a flat wheel. Would have really liked to battle it to the end there, but yeah, we had to concede the second, and really looking forward to Donegal now.
Here are the final confirmations of the results and the championship standings here at the cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes.
Well, it's back-to-back wins here in Killarney for Donna Kelly and Conor Foley. But in terms of the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship, the lead there has made its way into the hands of Alistair Fisher and Gordon Noble. But there's still a tight margin there, and the battle will continue in the hills of Donegal. See you then.